Okay, my dear friend, let's have the Companies Act 2013. I'm reading the Act, Management and Administration, Declaration, Payment, Dividend, Accounts of Companies. Okay, Harsha. What is Section 128, my dear friend?
Books of account to be kept by the company.
Yes, books of accounts to be kept by company. 129 financial statements. Yes, 130 reopening of accounts on courts or tribunal orders. 131 voluntary revision of financial statement or board report. 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 136. Yes. What is section 136 says that, my dear friend? Right of member to copies of audited financial statements. What it means? Every shareholder has a right to receive audited financial statement. Which financial statement, my dear friend? Audited financial statement. What do you mean by financial statement? Balance sheet, trading and profit and loss account. Correct? Cash flow statement. Section 137 says that copy of financial statement to be filed with registrar. You have to file the copy of financial statement to ROC. ROC, you understand? ROC, Registrar of Companies. Then section 138, my dear friend, internal audit. So we are going to study internal audit. Then there is a chapter 10 on audit. There is a chapter 10 on audit. What I'm teaching you guys? What I'm teaching? I am teaching company law. What I'm teaching? Company law. Extract of company law. Please understand, I'm directly teaching you from the source document. From here, what is the document from where your module has been created? From where your module has cut, copy, paste from company law. So this is company law chapter 10, audit and auditors. All these sections we have to study: appointment of auditor, removal, resignation of auditor, eligibility, qualification and disqualification of auditor, remuneration of auditor, power and duties of auditor, auditor not to render certain service, auditor to sign audit report, auditor to attend general meeting, punishment for contravention, central government to specify audit. So audit and auditors, there is a full chapter 10, from section 139 to section 148. So my dear friend, shall we start it? Shall we start a discussion? Let's start a discussion. Let's move to the section number 138. I am teaching you directly from company law. Okay. Now section 138. Internal audit. Tell me, my dear friend, read this, Harsha.
Internal audit.
Yes. What is section 138 clause 1?
138 clause 1. Such class or classes of companies as may be prescribed shall be required to appoint an internal auditor who shall either be a chartered accountant or cost accountant or such other professional.
Oh my God. Oh my God. First time I can see. Now you please understand the value of your qualification. What Companies Act 2013 is saying. What Companies Act 2013 is saying. Before that, this line was not there in Companies Act 1956, my dear friend. This line was not there in. Huh?
Internal auditor may be either CA or ISWA.
Yes. Or such other professional as may be decided by the board. Such other professional as may be decided by the board. ये board क्या है? What is board?
Board means.
What is board? Board means board of directors. Board means what?
Board of directors.
Yes. So it's not necessary that only CA or CWA can become the internal auditor. Such other professional as may be decided by the board to conduct internal audit of the functions and activities of the company. The central government may, by rules, prescribe the manner and the intervals in which the internal audit shall be conducted and reported to the board. Are you getting my point? Section 138 internal audit says that any CA or CWA or any other professional can do can do internal audit rules. Let me look into the internal audit rules. Okay, companies accounts rule 2014 we have to look into. I'm going to look into the companies accounts rule 2014. Companies Act 2014. So there is a appointment qualification directors, companies meeting, audit and auditors rules 2014 भी है यहाँ पे. Companies Act, Companies Act 2013 rules, Companies Act legal fair, Companies Act 2013. Wait a minute, I'll open all the rules. These are the rules in Companies Act. Let's look at the accounts rules 2014. Let's look at these rules. It will open. We'll come back to that website. Section 138 internal audit. What it is saying, companies have to appoint such class or class of companies as may be prescribed. So what are the class and class of companies that have to appoint a chartered accountant or cost accountant as an auditor? That class of companies shall be prescribed. So right now under section 138 it is not prescribed, but we have to see the rules. We can see those, what are the companies prescribed for the internal audit. So section 138. Now move to the section 139, appointment of auditor. Appointment of auditor. So what is the provision of section 139? Look at the provision of section 139. Subject to the provisions of this chapter, every company shall at first annual general meeting appoint an individual or a firm as an auditor who shall hold office from the conclusion of that meeting till the conclusion of the 6th annual general meeting, and thereafter till the conclusion of every 6th meeting, and the manner and procedure of selection of auditors by the members of the company at such meeting shall be such as may be prescribed. My dear friend, let me tell you, an auditor you cannot appoint more for a period more than 5 years. What will be the maximum period of an auditor? What will be the maximum period of an auditor?
5 years.
5 years. You cannot appoint auditor more than 5 years. So after 5 years, you have to change the auditor. After 5 years, you have to change the auditor. Are you getting my point? So what provision is saying, what Companies Act is saying? Subject to the provisions of this chapter. Which chapter? This is chapter 10. Chapter 10, audit and auditors. Every company, it's written every company, my dear friend, whether private, whether public, whether listed, whether unlisted, any company, my dear friend, every company shall at the first annual general meeting appoint an individual or a firm as an auditor, appoint a person as an auditor, who shall hold office from the conclusion of that meeting till the conclusion of the 6th meeting, and thereafter till the conclusion of every 6th meeting, and the manner and procedures of selection of auditor by the members. So the simple point is that you can appoint an auditor for maximum of 5 years. Next line, provided that the company shall place the matter relating to such appointment for ratification by members at every annual general meeting. One more thing, Harsha, Pavni, you can appoint a person for maximum 5 years, but every year you have to reappoint that guy. Every year you have to ratify the appointment. Ratify means recheck, review. If you want to change, next year you can bring new auditor. Is there any compulsion to continue with that auditor for 5 years? Is there any
No,
compulsion?
no, sir, no compulsion.
Yeah, so generally an auditor will be there for only for 1 year. If he wants to continue, if members are happy, we can continue for next year, then next year, then next year, then next year, but maximum 5 years. Third paragraph, provided further that before such appointment is made, the written consent of the auditor to such appointment and the certificate from him or it that the appointment, if made, shall be in accordance with the condition as may be prescribed, shall be obtained from the auditor. You have to take a certificate from the auditor that he is okay for that appointment. Provided also that certificate shall also indicate whether the auditor satisfy the criteria provided in section 141. So we have not discussed the section 141. So let's discuss the section 141. What are the criteria provided in one section 141? Then we'll come back to section 139. Okay. What are the criteria provided in section 141? So what section 141 says, Harsha, can you read it?
Eligibility, qualifications and disqualifications of auditors. A
Yes,
person shall be eligible for appointment as an auditor of company only if he is a chartered accountant.
very important. Can you read this line again?
Person shall be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company only if he is a chartered accountant.
Read it again. A
A
person
person
shall be
shall
eligible for
be
appointment
eligible
as an
for
auditor,
appointment as an auditor of a company only if he is a chartered accountant.
provided that a firm whereof majority of partners practicing in India are qualified for appointment as aforesaid may be appointed by its firm named to be auditor of a company. I really, really like this act. I love this act here. This is unbelievable. Companies Act 2013 is very great act. What first line he is saying? Only a chartered accountant can be the auditor. Okay, that's okay. Now, what second line is saying? Provided that a firm, a firm
Where ma-
whereof majority of partners practicing in India, majority of partners practicing in India, my dear friend, are you getting my point? Huh? These guys, KPMG, Deloitte, और क्या नाम है, ENY and Price PwC. These guys having one partner in India, other partner out of India, and doing audit. Huh? This is wrong, yeah. What a rule they have prepared. Whereof majority of partners practicing in India, their majority of partners should be in India, are qualified for appointment as aforesaid. As aforesaid means they are chartered accountant. May be appointed by its firm name to be the auditor of a company. Okay. Second point. Read the second point.
where a firm including a limited liability partnership is appointed as an auditor of a company, only the partners who are chartered accountants shall be authorized to act and sign on behalf of the firm.
That is okay. This is a common thing. Third point, the following persons shall not be eligible for appointment as auditor. You cannot appoint following people as an appointed as an auditor. Number a body corporate. You cannot appoint a company as an auditor. Are you getting my point? Only a partnership firm, an individual can be appointed as an auditor. What I'm saying, Harsha?
Only chartered accountant will be the auditor of the company, not
Only
the
chartered accountant individual, only chartered accountant as a firm can be the auditor. Are you getting my point?
yes,
Now my question, can a company of chartered accountant, 10 chartered accountants started a company, can they be an auditor? Can they become an auditor?
okay, sir, no problem.
Huh? Let's say 10 chartered accountants open a company and they want to become the auditor. Can they become the auditor?
Yes, sir.
They can become. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No, it's no. Wrong. This question will come in the exam. 10 chartered accountants open a company and can that company become an auditor? No, they cannot become an auditor. Only individual chartered accountant or firm of chartered accountants can become the auditor. Are you getting my point, Harsha?
Okay, sir. Not company. Okay, sir.
Only an individual or a firm of chartered accountants can become the auditor. A company cannot become auditor. Are you getting my point?
Okay, sir. Getting, sir.
So let me repeat the point. The following persons shall not be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company. A point. Body corporate. Body corporate should not be appointed as an auditor. B point.
Limited,
Huh?
other than limited liability partnership.
So limited liability partner that is partnership. So partners can become auditor. Are you getting my point?
Okay, sir.
Officers and employee of the company also can become the auditor.
No, sir.
Huh?
Officers or employee of the company is not eligible to appoint as a
Not eligible to become auditor. Sorry, no. है ना? And person who is the partner and who is the employment of an officer or employee of the company, that also cannot become the auditor. A relative cannot become the auditor. Correct?
correct, sir.
Okay. So who cannot become the auditor? Who is holding any security? Who is indebted to the company? Who has given guarantee? And firm who directly indirectly has business relationship with the company. Person whose relative is a director. Person whose full-time employment elsewhere. If you are doing job, you cannot become the auditor. A person who has been convicted by a court of an offense of fraud and a period of 10 years has not been passed, he cannot become the auditor. And any person who cannot become the auditor of your associate or subsidiary company, that person also cannot become the auditor of your company. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Sir,
So
if in exams I will write in simple language, it will get marks or not?
in the audit paper, my dear friend, specifically in the company audit, you have to refer sections there.
Refer to sections, but I will write in, if I will write in simple language, there is a problem or
So
not?
no, there's no problem. So let's say if I'm asking what are the qualifications and disqualification of an auditor in a company, explain. Then what will you answer? What will be your answer?
A person who is a chartered accountant
Hmm?
is eligible as auditor of the company.
Give me you give my answer in easy language, okay? Hmm.
Okay.
Tell me. So you told me that a
Person,
person.
what?
Hello, Harsha, tell me in easy words.
person a person who is a chartered accountant shall be eligible to be an auditor.
To answer qualifications and disqualification of auditor. Qualification and disqualification of auditor. We studied in section 141, na? How you will answer this in exam? In exam.
I will write the section number and
Mhm.
write simple language.
And what simple language you will use? I want to see that.
Person A person shall be eligible to appointment as an auditor of the company only if is a chartered accountant.
Okay,
It
then.
is a simple language only, but
Mhm.
further going on, there is a tough language coming. Instead
No,
of
how you will
understanding,
answer? That's what my question. How you will answer that? Hello.
yes, sir,
I'm
hearing, sir.
Yeah. So you will say correct. You will say as per section 141, only chartered accountant is eligible to being an auditor of a company. Then you have to say only an individual chartered accountant or a firm of chartered accountant can become the auditor. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir, getting, sir.
Yeah.
Technical words,
Yeah. Huh?
technical words. I have to write technical words.
No, no. I'm explaining you in the easy language, okay?
Okay, sir.
Now I'm not reading the law. I'm saying you how you'll answer. You will say only chartered accountant can become the auditor, and only individual and firm of chartered accountant can become the auditor. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir, getting, sir.
Then you will say if chartered accountant will form a company, that company cannot become the auditor. Correct?
Not correct, sir.
Huh?
Not correct.
Not correct.
Not correct.
Why?
It is indirect, sir.
Huh?
Indirect, sir.
So how you will write down?
Person shall be eligible to auditor only if the person shall be eligible to appoint as auditor of company only if is a chartered accountant
Correct.
who is an individual,
Or a
sole
partnership firm.
proprietor firm.
And partnership firm also can become the auditor, no?
Yes, sir. Eligible, sir.
Yeah. And what about company?
Company, no, sir.
Not eligible. Okay.
Not eligible.
Officer and employee of the company?
No, sir. Not eligible.
Okay. Partner of the employee?
Partner, employee, not eligible.
Relative of employee or partner?
Not eligible. Relatives are not eligible.
Person who is having the securities of the company?
Securities also not eligible.
Not eligible. Correct. So
Subsidiary or holding company also not
yeah,
eligible.
yeah. So, correct. So you can give the answer in your easy language. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
You
Getting.
can give the answer in easy language. Correct. Understood section 141?
Understood, sir.
Yeah. So we'll go back to section 139.
Yes, sir.
So what section 139 is saying? Appointment of auditor. Huh?
Yes.
Appointment of auditor. So what section 139 says that every company shall appoint auditor in first annual general meeting. When they will appoint?
At annual general meeting, AGM.
And he will hold office till sixth annual general meeting. That means maximum appointment period is 5 years.
5 years.
Second paragraph. Company shall place the matter relating to such appointment for ratification by members at every annual general meeting. You have to get ratified it at every annual general meeting every year. Okay.
Yes,
You
sir.
have to take written consent of auditor. Every time you have to take written consent of the auditor. You have to take a certificate from him that he is fit to being auditor. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Let's say if you are appointing me, okay, and if I'm not qualified person, how you will get it? So you will take a certificate from auditor that he is fit for appointment. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then what next paragraph saying that certificate shall also indicate whether the auditor satisfy the criteria provided under section 141. So what are the criteria under section 141? Just now you have studied, correct?
Yes,
Hello.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Study.
Then read the next paragraph.
Provided also the company shall inform to the auditor office or its appointment and also file a notice of such appointment with register within 15 days of meeting in which the auditor is appointed.
Yes. Company shall inform the auditor concerned of his payment or its appointment and also file a notice of such appointment with the ROC within 15 days. the auditor is appointed, he should file a return to ROC within, in how many days he has to file? Within 15 days. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.